Zanzi. Now it's all about the love of saving money on today's Afternoon Express Masterclass with me, Balisa Tembe. We're continuing our exploration of meals for 6 under 200 Rand with our musical guests, Tiana Sky and Sasha Regini from Amor. Now we'll be whipping up a macaroni lasagna. Yes, you heard it, a macaroni lasagna and 2 super yummy desserts. If you want the details to any of today's recipes, just head over to afternoonexpress.co.za. Now, Cape Town talents Tiana Sky and Sasha Regini, they're joining us today to chat about their brand new band, Amor, and their new album by the very same name, Amor Volume 1. The duo, each with their own accomplishments in the SA music scene. Tiana as a solo artist and Sasha as a member of the Cape Town band, The Plastics, are releasing a brand new album tomorrow. Now, Sasha Sky, has been 6 years since you were last in the loft, and Sasha, it's your very first time, but welcome you two.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for having us.
No, listen, it becomes quite a lengthy intro when we are speaking about talents just like yourselves. I mean, individually, you've both have been there, done that, gotten the t-shirts, so much so that you decided to join forces. Now, you definitely, I think, set the tone really, really high with your very first single that you released in April, Piece of Summer. What did bring this incredible duo together?
I think we've always kind of known each other in the industry, and then I moved down to Cape Town just before COVID had happened, and then we were kind of in studio writing music at Digital Forest Studios, this beautiful studio, and yeah, we're just writing music, and then a song came along called Clueless, which was our last single that we released. And we were like, oh my gosh, we've hit gold here. Something's happening and we really need to expand on this idea, you know? And then we decided we're gonna join forces. And then it was the next challenge of picking a name, which is, you will be surprised how many names are taken out there.
I'm so indecisive, I could never. That would give me anxiety.
we even did it Gambino, what's his name is?
Childish Gambino.
Yes, what he did when he put it in a computer online.
Name generator.
A name generator. And then it spits out a name for you. But then anyway, we came to Amor, and yeah, it's been a blast ever since.
Oh, well, I love the name, and I love the two of you together because you guys are truly the epitome of creative genius basically coming together.
Thank you so much.
And we're going to get to that because your sound just speaks for itself. But before that, you are just so incredible. You even gained the attention of French-Japanese recording label. I mean, working with some of the best people in the game internationally as well. What did that then do for the duo, and how has it been able to impact you as a band? What did you take from it?
Yeah, that was really exciting when Kitsune Records reached out to us. We're big fans of the artists on the label, such as Turo Cinema Club and LaRue, and there's a bunch of extra all cool artists on there. And we were just really stoked that they reached out to us and really excited by the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's given us a whole opportunity to reach an international audience, and we've been put on a bunch of their Spotify playlists, which did some boosting of our tracks, and
we have a whole French following now, which is awesome.
So if I walk around with you guys in Paris, they'll be like, oh my God, is that?
It's Amor.
It's Amor. I love that. You have to say it with the accents as well.
We even had a French day at the studio when we released the track, where we came dressed all French.
I could bring my beret out,
champagne and
we had champagne, and we were talking in French. And
it's all about the vibes. I see you even have a tattoo.
Yeah, I do.
That's when you know it's real. You get it tatted on you. I love that, Sasha. Okay, so getting back into the music. Your music, when I listen to it, it's giving me energy. It's giving me emotion. How would you define your unique sound?
I think we would really say it's pop indie soul, especially with my pop background and Sasha's indie background. We feel we just have met each other in this really cool middle of it being really interesting, but also really relatable, just the right amount. And and ultimately it's fun. I think our music just, we knew that when we join forces. Like, we want to make people dance, you know what I mean? We want to have a good time and really, like, you know, let all that attitude and steam off and, like, yeah.
I love that, being able to pour everything that we experience in life into a sound, into an experience, and truly have it be an experiential kind of vibe that we're going for. And that's what you guys are setting up with your album dropping tomorrow. Now, let's get to it. I mean, I am so excited about it. More Volume 1. Number one, you know, I always say, if you put your name on something, that's when you know it's real. And you guys decided to go bold, putting your name on your very first album. What can we expect? How can we get our hands on it? And what motivated the album?
You can get it. Okay, you can Spotify pre-save. It's coming out tomorrow, so today is the last chance to save it on.
You want to be the
on
first
Spotify
to hear it.
And Apple Music. It's you can go to our Instagram and there's a link there which will link you up to that. The whole album was like, we started with a couple of songs together and then we just wrote more and more. We got into this like frenzy of writing songs.
Like 3 songs in one day. We were just like going crazy.
We were really feeling the creative energy, and all of a sudden we had this album. We were like, shit, we've actually got like 9.
Sugar Honey,
Sugar Honey. Sugar Honey, we got 10 songs already, and we were like, well, we have an album. Let's actually take us to the next level. We spoke to Andrew at our studio, who owns the studio, and he's on board as well with the team. And we just came together in December last year and tracked all the whole album, and it was such a great experience. And we've just been flying since then. We've already finished writing the second album, so.
Yeah, we're kind of crazy with this. I mean, we like live, breathe music, you know. But I'd really say like the overall sound of what people can expect. You know, it's a lot of fun. It's honest. It's like real to where we are in our lives, and kind of speaking about all the aspects of love, the good, the bad, the ugly of love.
Now let's get to the single that you're going to perform at the end of the show. I mean, tell me all about it, the title, and what can we expect to hear?
Well, it's called Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda. You know, 3 words we've all said in some time of our life. Kind of just about like how we all have that one person that when they're in the room, they just like know how to get you there in the heart, you know? And yeah, it's the first single of our album, or Volume 1, dropping tomorrow. And yeah, we're super excited. It's such a bump. It's full of highs, full of lows.
Yes. It sums up our sound quite nicely, and it's a really cool, fun song to dance to and to feel to.
Now, Amor is not going anywhere because they're going to be heading into the kitchen just now with us. But later on, we'll be getting an exclusive performance from their new album, Amor Volume 1. You don't want to miss it. We are ready in the kitchen. The aprons are on and the girls are looking amazing. We're ready to go. Dumi, welcome.
I've been waiting. Can we start cooking now?
Let's get cooking.
Guys, I'm ready.
Now looking for a high-protein dish packed with veggies that will feed a family of 6 and cost you under 100 Rand. Well, you're in the right spot because we're going to be serving you a scrumptious summer vegetable egg stack. Dumi, tell us more.
Before I do anything, Shiana, welcome to the kitchen.
Thank you for
We're about to get cooking, and I need you to do some work. I'm not here to make
Okay, I'm ready. My mom's looking at me going, girl, you better cook, you know?
We're singing a completely different tune, and to start us all off, let me actually add some of your oil for you. I'm going to need you to fry up some of our red and green peppers for us.
Okay, fabulous.
And then those are going to be part of the stacks that I'm making for this dish. Now, Balisa, I'm making an egg stack. Normally people will have pancakes, normally people will have crepes and stuff like that. Now we're saying to you that you don't have to worry about getting all those additional ingredients. All you need is your eggs. Obviously, and some Excella over there because we need that Excella to make sure everything is done well. And it's a very simple recipe. I've started already with my first egg stack. We're going to stack it up with some eggs, some of our veggies, some of our Excella rice, and just give you deliciousness on a plate.
I'm so excited to have this combo in the kitchen right now because Chi-Chi and I have actually shared about 2 meals together.
We have.
And we love ourselves some good food of good quality. So that's exactly what we're doing today in our Afternoon Express Masterclass.
So exciting.
I'm very excited to be cooking alongside with you because we are empowering everyone to get some of the cheapest ingredients that go, you know, a little bit goes a long way. That's exactly what we're doing here for our big family.
And this is so cool. I've never actually seen them do the whole like egg pancake thing before. Like,
you know, there's like so many tricks that people have. Like I know about a crepe cake where people layer all the different crepe layers and filling. And this we fell onto, and I was like, we definitely have to do it in the afternoon.
Running with it.
Kitchen. Let's do it. Let's run with it. And that's why we've chosen to use our exceller oil as the base of our dish. We're making sure that we're using it. It's clear. It's odorless. Perfect for different types of cooking, different types of applications. You could cook with it. You could bake with it. You could fry. It's completely up to you.
And Dumi, to ensure that that egg looks as amazing as it does. I mean, that you're so right.
I mean,
it looks great.
It looks perfect. It looks plastic. Like it looks so delicious.
Absolutely. How did you make sure that you get that as solid as it is?
We've made sure to start with a nice layer of our exceller oil. I poured it on here, and I wanted to make sure that it gets heated up. And what I'm going to do now, while it's still cooking as well, I'm going to add another little drop of our exceller oil just on the edges, because what I want to do is I want to make sure that it fries on the edges as well, and it makes sure that it comes off when I take it out of our pan. And the reason I'm adding a lid as well is because we want to make sure that it cooks on both sides, because we're going to put it into the oven, so you don't want a soggy egg in the center. And I'm going to start assembling our yes, Bale, I'm loving the fact that you're about to taste. I'm about to start assembling our baby. And Gianna, once you're done, you can add the rest of those ingredients.
Okay, fabulous. I was going to say, like,
Awesome.
how's it going over here?
Yeah, you can add a bit of that, and then just a touch of salt.
You've spoken about quite a few flavors that come out in this.
Yes.
I mean, it is a summer dish at the end of the day. So we want to make sure that it's light, but also it's filling. So I'm
Correct.
going to have a taste and see if these flavors of summer do come through.
I feel like you could have that dish for like morning, lunch, or dinner. It's just like, it's totally flexible. Like, I love it.
You should also taste the earthiness of the spinach that we're adding in there, Bella. So I've added Swiss chard. The reason I'm adding it fresh, you can definitely saute it if that's what you prefer. I'm adding it fresh because as we put it into the oven, all the layers of the egg are gonna bake it anyway. So it's still gonna have a bit of that crunch in there as we're baking it.
And I feel that. The earthy tones that you talk about coming through with the Swiss chard. No! The Swiss chard.
This is fair. She gets to taste it while we're already assembling.
And you know why? At the end of the day, first of all, I love a good surprise. So when we do sit at the end and we taste your incredible hard work, honey.
Well, this one's cooked by Chi Chi.
You know what I'm saying?
Chi Chi peppers over here.
And it is amazing to taste. It is delicious when it does come into your mouth. All the flavors come together so beautifully as well.
I've just flipped one of our, the one I've just made here, and as you can see, it's got a beautiful crust on the bottom. And what that also helps with, as you keep stacking them, it's going to give you a beautiful color, as you see with the one at the very end over there. And then I'm going to add it onto the rest of our stack here, and you just keep layering it up. You put your exceller rice in there. That's also, it cooks fluffy and white, so it also is a great addition to this recipe.
Yep.
I'm going to add the layer of, again, of our rice and our veggies, and then another layer of our spinach. Let this bake in the oven if you wanted to get that golden color at the top. If you don't want to, you can actually eat it as it is immediately from the pan.
I mean, we were talking about chef's kisses earlier. Chi Chi, does this deserve a chef's kiss?
It does. I mean, I haven't tasted it yet, but watching you like devour it next to me, I'm like, there's a chef's kiss.
Boy, I love my job. And if you want to get in on this too, please may you head over to afternoonexpress.co.za for this flavorful packed dish. Now today we are whipping up meals for a family of 6, all for under 200 Rand with Chiana, Sky and Sasha. So if you had 200 Rand to make a meal for your favorite celebrity, what would you make? Make sure you use the hashtag Afternoon Express in all of your comments. But coming up, macaroni in lasagna. That's a wild substitution for me, but it does help to save money. So coming up, we're going to show you how to make macaroni lasagna. back to Afternoon Express, and boy, oh boy, am I excited. We have got our very next victim, I'd like to call him, Sasha. I mean, Sasha, it's so amazing to have that apron on you.
Yeah,
because
it's good.
you actually have a little bit of a ace up your sleeve.
Yeah, I did go to chef school for a year. Yeah, it was a good experience. But let's see how it goes today. You never know.
He's a musician, he's a chef to me.
I have my work cut out for me today. I need to impress.
No, I'm taking notes. You're really good.
I love the sportsmanship here. Now, something else that we all love is a good lasagna. But have you ever heard of a macaroni lasagna? Yes, we're replacing the lasagna sheets with some good old macaroni. By doing so, we're making it budget-friendly. I love it, Dumi. Teach us, lead us the way.
I shall lead you, my love. And to start it off, a simple lasagna has to have a nice white sauce, but we're zhuzhing it up and adding the cheese to make it a cheese sauce, because you want the flavors not only of the cheese that you would have in the layers, but you also want it as part of the binding of the dish itself.
Wow.
To start it off, I'm adding my oil, or rather butter, into our pan here, into our pot. I want it to melt down. The importance of making a cheese sauce, a white sauce, you need to make sure that your oil is hot, your fat type content is hot, so that once you add the flour, it starts cooking it from that moment you put it into the pot. Now, this is a process that's going to take a couple of minutes, but before I get into that, maybe you can just take us through the mince and all the ingredients you'll be adding in there. They're like all out there, also very reasonable, because we've got mince and we're adding lentils to bulk it up.
Yeah, well, we're just going to add like the mince in, like straight after the onions, and wait for it to brown a little bit. Just let it like go in there and settle, you know, get nice and brown and get some colour on it, braise it, you could say. And then I'm just going to give it a couple of seconds here. Then I'll add the lentils in next, and the tomato paste.
Okay.
And then after that, I'll put the tomatoes, the chopped tomatoes, and the stock, and the egg right at the end there.
You're speaking like someone that isn't making lasagna for the first time today.
Actually, lasagna and bolognese is one of my specialties, so you got me on a good day here.
No, or maybe we knew what we were doing. I love the fact, though, that you are no stranger to being in the kitchen, and also you came with a life-changing tip. I have never thought of adding lentils into my mince, just because it just, you know, simply goes further at the end of the day. This dish, I believe, can feed 6 to 8 people, and that's a big family.
That is 6 to 8 people with empty stomachs that want to be fed, and you can definitely make sure that you feed them. Now, Pali, as you can see, I've added our flour in here. It is ideal to make sure that you let your flour cook down. Obviously, we press for a bit of time, so we're going to make sure we go in with the rest of the ingredients. While the flour is cooking down, you then start adding your liquid. In this instance, we're using our Clover fresh milk, because it is perfect for this recipe. It's got those the creamy flavor that we want for our white sauce, and it also is great because it binds everything together. And the fact that it's got triple protect, I mean, I could say so much. We've got the sauce that I'm doing here. I'm gonna keep adding it and thicken it up, and then I'll start adding the cheesiness that we want into the sauce.
Very cool. That sounds delicious.
It definitely sounds delicious. I see you've also added some of your other ingredients there.
Yeah, I've just added some tomato paste in there, pinch of salt. Maybe 2 pinches, because it's for 6 people. Little pinch of black pepper, you know, a little bit of this, bit of that. Some chopped tomatoes.
If you don't have chopped tomatoes, you could always use fresh tomatoes as well, which are also still very reasonable.
Yeah.
Or you could get any canned tomatoes. It's completely up to you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a resounding voila for me. You can't even taste the fact that the texture or the pasta element and the starch is any different to that lasagna sheet. It's actually thicker because you have more layers, essentially, more of those lasagna tubes in there. So it definitely is a lot more heartier.
Absolutely.
And for me, the creaminess of that sauce, honey, beautifully comes together here. And also your sauce, your bolognese, is not too sharp on the tongue, because sometimes the acidity can just be overwhelming.
Well, yeah, actually, it's an old trick to add a pinch of sugar as well in there, just to cut the acidity of the tomatoes.
Brilliant.
Yeah, something else you can do at home.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
I've started layering our lasagna, our macaroni lasagna, and as you can see, I've got a layer of the macaroni at the very bottom. We've added an egg. I'm going to just add it into our sauce right now. We're adding an egg into, as you can see myself, and...
Dual egging. happening here.
Correct. We're adding our eggs into this, and you might be wondering why we're doing this.
Yeah.
The reason for that is for the stability. If you look at our lasagna there close to you, Bale, it's got those definition of layers because we've added the egg for the structure. If you choose to not add the egg, it's completely up to you. But we're just saying that if you want to impress and you want to be able to cut those different layers and have people see them individually.
The perfect slices.
Yeah, it adds a bit of richness into the flavor as well, the egg usually.
Very, very true. And then we go in with another layer of our sauce. And then I'll finish it up with our lasagna, some cheese on the top, bake it in the oven at 180 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. And that's your lasagna for 6 done.
Head over to afternoonexpress.co.za to get all of this goodness.
I'll go. But one of you say, oh, he's back. Move way.
Clover fresh milk.
Made with love by Clover.
The lottery gives everyone the same chance of winning. For every small amount of money a ticket costs, it's possible to win a massive jackpot. South Africans now have a chance to bet on the Italian favorite draw with massive payouts up for grabs. Don't miss out on the Super in Lotto tonight at 8 p.m, where you can stand a chance of adding 9 digits to your bank balance. To see today's payout amount, go on to our Facebook page. Place your bets now on lottoland.co.za. Lottoland South Africa is a licensed bookmaker with the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No persons under the age of 18 are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. National Responsible Gambling toll-free counselling line is 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Welcome back to our Afternoon Express Masterclass, where we are focusing on feeding our entire family for 200 Rand or less. Now we've got our very next songstress. Chi-Chi, welcome back.
Thank you, thank you. It's a hard act to follow, you know, after Sasha, such a foodie in the kitchen.
Yeah, Sasha blew it out of the park.
I don't
But honey, I'm pretty sure you're going to top it.
Right.
Absolutely. Now, for all of those viewers out there who are lactose intolerant, this one is for you. We are preparing a lactose-free mass pudding with a granadilla twist. It's super refreshing and it's something that you can easily serve up for your whole entire family to enjoy. Dumi?
I love the fact that you mentioned that we're doing a lactose-free dessert, because a lot of people have been looking at the fact that I'm lactose intolerant and I now cannot enjoy my delicious baked goods. Now, we're saying to you, no worry, because we've got clover nolac that we're using today, which is perfect because it has been treated to a point where it makes it easily digestible. So you don't have to stress about, oh my gosh, I love my nice things, I love my desserts, but I can't have them, you know? It's also nutrient rich, so it's perfect for this recipe that we're about to make. Now, in this little bowl that I have here, I'm going to start with my pudding. I've creamed together our sugar, our butter, and I've also creamed in our eggs. Obviously, you want to know the exact steps and the exact quantities. Go into afternoonexpress.co.za to get that recipe. And into this is where I add the rest of our wet ingredients. And that starts with 2/3 of a cup, or 2 cups and a third, rather, of our clover nolac mass. All right, and then after that...
this is what makes it a mass pudding.
Yes, this is where the mass comes in. Now, I've got the 1/2 cup measure here, so I'm obviously going to add 4 cups, 4 of these plus a third. So we just keep adding these, and then we're going to start mixing in the rest of our ingredients. As you can see, we are still doing that dry ingredients first, wet ingredients, dry ingredients, and then we're going to put it all together.
And these are available like just about anywhere, right?
Anywhere, girl.
Okay.
You can start enjoying those baked goods without stressing about any issues here. And then after that, I'm going to go in with 3/4 of a cup of our clover nolac milk, and then start mixing it all together.
Okay, listen, those were a whole lot of steps, honey. I'm just excited to have a taste at some of these flavors, because then that's where you come in. I nearly called you Sasha, girl, because, you know, you seem like you've been in such a chef vibe. But no, Chi-Chi, you're about to give us that granadilla flair, essentially.
Yeah, she's doing all the hard work, and I'm just going to come and do that extra sprinkle on top.
As you're talking about hard work, you know, I always say I've got such a privilege here of making sure that the quality of everything we whip up is higher grade, essentially. And that's how we're keeping it. We're keeping it higher grade, but super simple in the kitchen.
You know? So basically, we're just taking out, get yourself some granadillas. We all have some granadillas. Exotic fruit. And then you're just going to take all of it out and put it in a nice...
It's really tangy. I mean, do you love the tanginess of granadilla?
I love exotic fruits like...
Wow.
Kiwis, mangoes, granadilla, you know. What would be like an excellent substitute if you didn't have granadillas in the house? Like if you had to like last minute those.
It's great that you mentioned that, and you've mentioned ingredients that would work perfectly, and you've mentioned ones that are actually quite on the tart side, and that's exactly what we want here, to cut through the sweetness of the dessert itself. So you could definitely use your kiwi, you could definitely use your strawberries, your berries that have a slight tartness to them. Are you tasting that?
I'm definitely tasting it, and that sponge, Dumi, moist. And it almost reminds me of a cheesecake. This is weird, hear me out. Almost like a cheesecake. So is that because of the clover nolac that we're using, mass rather, of the range?
That is true. It is because of that, but also because we're adding our egg whites that we've whipped in here. We're adding these, and we're baking this in
in
a water bath. So we're baking this in a water bath. As you can see, I've got a nice tray here that's been filled with hot water. The water has to be hot because it has to start cooking from the time you put it into the oven.
How long does it rest in here when you put the hot water in?
Well, as soon as I put it in here, we put it in the oven. There's no time to rest. We are working here.
Really? So that was a good question.
Yeah, so I'm going to add this into our baking dish now. This baking dish goes into our bain-marie, which is a water bath. This goes into the oven. It's going to bake at 180 degrees for about 30 to 40 minutes. It all depends on your oven, obviously. But 30 to 40 minutes, and then you've got that beautiful, soft...
That tart's going for a little bit of a spa.
You know what I'm saying? She's relaxing.
A little open the pores, you know.
I love it. I love that analogy, because we are giving love and care to all of our food. So if you would like to get your hands on this recipe, head over to afternoonexpress.co.za.
Made with love by Clover.
The past few weeks have been very insightful. We've learned about the importance of using the correct procedures when it comes to washing our clothing. Using the correct washing procedures will keep your clothes looking new for longer. This means that the clothes we buy will become an investment, which is much more important than buying a current fad. Keeping abreast of fabric trends, understanding dyes, and researching the cleaning of different fabrics has resulted in Skip developing fiber care technology to meet not only our current needs, but also geared for future ones. Skip anti-aging detergents have been formulated to care for your garments by fighting the 5 signs of clothes aging, which include removing stains, maintaining whiteness, preserving color, removing bubbles, and preventing roughness. But of course, we know that a good detergent goes hand in hand with a good washing machine. Siemens is manufactured in Germany to the highest environmental requirements for energy ratings, offering South Africa consumers the best international technology. The Siemens IDOS washing machine offers an extensive range of programs to satisfy the most discerning customer. It's easy to use and offers maximum convenience. It is backed by a 3-year warranty and a national service infrastructure to ensure complete peace of mind. Together, Skip anti-aging detergents and Siemens are the smart choice for delivering perfect results every time. Now for the exciting part. Over the last few weeks, we've been running a competition on our digital platforms, and today is the day that we're announcing the winner. This very lucky winner will walk away with a state-of-the-art Siemens washing machine to the value of 11,000 Rand, together with a year's supply of Skip anti-aging detergent. Well, let's not keep you waiting any longer. Drum roll, please. And the winner is Zoe LaRue. Zoe is joining us via live video call from Port Elizabeth. Zoe, congratulations. You are winning an amazing Siemens IDOS washing machine and a year's supply of Skip anti-aging detergent. How are you, girl?
Hi, thank you so much.
This is such exciting news. I mean, how are you feeling?
I'm very excited. When I got the news, it felt so surreal at the moment, but I'm so excited about it.
Now, Zoe, a lot of people have entered this competition, and they all gave different reasons as to why they deserve to walk away with the ultimate prize. But what impact will this prize have on your life?
Well, it will have a huge impact because since last year, my mother and we moved out of a very toxic household, and we started from scratch with everything. So over the year, we have been gathering all the necessities that we need, and washing machines was one of them. So what we do is we would use a washing bucket and we would wash our clothes in there. So it's very difficult doing that. It's very tiring as well, and it uses a lot of water. So the washing machine will definitely help us a lot.
I think that's such a touching story, and not only that, it's just such a pleasure and privilege on our side to be able to gift a family just like your own, a very deserving one at that. But I want to find out from you, Zoe, is there anything you'd like to say to Skip and Siemens who have made this all possible?
Well, I would like to say very thank you for the opportunity, because if there wasn't this opportunity, I wouldn't have won.
Please may you send my love to the entire family, and especially Mama over there in Port Elizabeth. It's been just such an honor to connect with you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Zoe, we are so incredibly happy for you, and congratulations once again. Well, that's a wrap from Loving Your Clothes for Longer, brought to you by Siemens and Skip Anti-Aging Detergent. It really is the perfect match. Love your clothes for longer with Siemens and Skip Anti-Aging Detergent. Welcome back to Afternoon Express as he fluffs his hair, making sure that he's prepared. Are you much of a social media guy?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I have a social media, I have Instagram and all those things, and I use them.
There is this crazy hack that is going around that Dobie's about to teach us how.
I'm about to teach you lesson 1. We're making ice cream in a jar. Simple, easy, delicious, but still very tasty.
Love that. Beautiful. I mean, we're calling all avid food trend followers. Stay close because we're going to show you how to make ice cream in a jar. Yes, peeps, ice cream in a jar. And we're going to be topping it all off with silky clover chocolate dairy desserts, nuts, and wafer biscuits. Wow. Girl, I'm ready to shake it up.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready to shake.
Before we shake the jar, can you shake your bodies just so I can make sure that you guys are here?
I'm always ready for a dance.
Let's get into it. You've got your jars right in front of you, and to start it off, we've got a nice jar of cream that you've got there. So let's start with our cream. We pour it into our jar. The best thing about this recipe is you don't have to worry about churning. You don't have to worry about stirring. All you do is shake it up. Okay.
Wow, that's super easy.
Super easy. And then into our cream, we go in with our icing sugar. We've chosen icing sugar because obviously it dissolves quicker, so it's perfect for this recipe. And then a pinch of salt. As you all know, whenever you make your desserts, a pinch of salt.
Can I borrow some of your salt?
Definitely. Pinch it up.
Just a pinch.
Just a pinch.
Oh, I think I might have stolen yours, honey.
It's okay.
Don't tell nobody.
We're back.
Welcome back, Palisa. All right, and into our beautiful jar of greatness, we're going to go in with that teaspoon of vanilla essence that we've got there. Just spoon it beautifully into your jar. And as you know, whenever you're whipping cream, it thickens up, it gets nice and fluffy and airy. So instead of the stirring part and the whisking part, it's time to shake it up.
Oh, wow.
Are you ready?
Now I'm ready.
Good.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1, shake it up.
So this is essentially taking the place of the churning or the whipping. Whoa! And I have been seeing this really trending online, and I'm like, I need to see it for myself. You know, I don't really believe some of these hacks. So it's going to be quite interesting to see the end product.
You know what it does? Is like what I said, when you're whipping your cream, it gets all those air bubbles. So instead of the that martial arts in the kitchen, shake it up.
Wow, it's such a little hack.
Yeah, very simple. So it is important to shake it up as much as you can. Palas, I'm not seeing any of elbow grease there. Shake it up.
I've been. I mean, Sasha, have you ever tried to make ice cream yourself?
I actually have, yeah. It was in one of our exams, but it didn't set properly.
Did you pass?
We don't talk about that. No, of course I did.
Let's talk good things only. Now, if you look at your ice cream now, or your mixture, if you look at it, it should have thickened up by now. Can you see?
Wow, yeah, definitely.
Perfect. This is the time when we put
Starting to even smell like ice cream. This is scary.
This is when we put it
like melted ice cream.
To freeze up. I'd suggest do it overnight. Just give it time to do its thing. Let's put these aside, and comes the done dish. Here is our ice cream.
Wow.
It's been frozen up for over 24 hours.
It is remarkable to me that this bad boy ends up becoming that. That really is ice cream.
It looks so legit.
And it is nice and soft. Look at that. You can scoop up your ice cream. I'm going to give each of you a nice little scoop because, Balasa, now is that time. We always talk about pouring it, saucing it. Now we're about to top it with our Clover Bliss medium cream dessert. Chocolate dessert on top, yes. I'm going to hand you yours, sir. And
this
you can
is
also
ready to eat.
That looks good. I'm not going to lie.
Look at that. Now you can actually start decorating. You've got some wafers there. You've got some nuts over there. You've got our medium cream dessert.
Thank you.
Add it on top of there and let's
Sure.
Definitely delicious. I am telling you, Mzansi, this is something everyone needs to try at home. As we are talking about social media trends, you know that emoji, the mind-blown emoji? That's essentially what's happening to me right now. This tastes
I'm with
legit.
you on that. That's like, it really is legit, hey?
Please do have a taste for me and let me know
I'm
how
going
you
to crumble
feel.
this wafer on it. Get a bit of wafer crumble.
You're making it look good like the chef that you are. How's that?
We eat with our eyes.
It literally tastes like perfect, amazing vanilla ice cream.
Doesn't it just? I'm so excited about this. Dumi, please do have a taste also of your masterpiece. And I think you have definitely passed. This is a hack that it speaks for itself. At first, I was feeling a little shaky about it, but this is so simple, so easy. Wow. Talking about shaking. If you want to shake it up in your kitchen too, please do get this recipe over at afternoonexpress.co.za.
With the creamy decadence of double cream bliss from Clover. Yogurt has never been so irresistible.
Made with love by Clover.
It's finally time for some music, man. Amor Amor is releasing their debut album, Amor Amor Volume 1, tomorrow. And they're going to be giving us an exclusive performance before it drops. Along with the album, they're releasing their third single. Here to perform on Afternoon Express, this is Amor Amor with Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda. Take it away.
Seems like tomorrow's gonna be another wild one. Heartbreak casino, you can't get money for love. And if you try a little harder, maybe you're gonna make somebody happy. That's just something I heard on the radio. Seems like you're running away from the little things. I wanna take you far from you, but someone's stuck in your way. Seems like tomorrow, don't know what I'm doing, I don't feel like looking back. Woulda, shoulda, I never should've left, just standing at Starbucks. Love me, treat me right, the mornings could turn into nights. If you love me, treat me right, the mornings could turn into nights. Sun in my eyes, so I'm taking all the sip in my Kool-Aid. You've come back to take me down again. Everything's a gamble, cold-hearted fun, we'll play anywhere. Don't mind, I really don't mind playing hard to get. Oh wait, you put me in a slide, days today again. I feel like I can never, and my heart is paper thin. Oh, I can believe it. Let me tell you a secret. Sometimes I think woulda, coulda, shoulda. I never shoulda left you standing at your mom's house. Love me, treat me right. The morning could turn into nights. If you hold me, love me, treat me right. The morning could turn into nights. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. I never shoulda left ya. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Talk about jamming. Now, we've been jamming our way in the kitchen, jamming our way in the loft here today, and we will be coming back with so much more Afternoon Express when we return.
Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, planning a funeral is never as easy as you need to cope with the loss of a loved one. And during this difficult time, the last thing you need to worry about is where you're going to find the money to pay for the burial and all those added costs. But with the right funeral plan, you can personalize your premiums and choose a flexible cover that suits your life and the ones of those nearest to you. Losing a loved one is never easy. It can put a lot of emotional and financial strain on the entire family. But with a funeral plan, you can worry less about finances and more about what truly matters during hard times. Elaine and Muligwa, it's always so great to meet with you. But today, I come to ask about a sensitive topic, but a very important one, something that we're all bound to deal with at some stage, and that's funeral plans. Elaine, how many funeral plans can one have?
Melissa, there isn't really a limit in terms of the Long-Term Insurance Act as to how many funeral policies an individual can have. However, you will find that certain underwriters will limit the number of policies an individual can take out with that specific company. They might also limit the cover amount that an individual can have with that specific company.
Thank you so much, Elaine. Now, Muligwa, help me understand the numbers behind it. When it comes to cover limits, is there a maximum, and how then does that work?
Yes, there's a maximum. So the regulated maximum per individual policy is 100,000 Rand. However, if you feel that you do need a bit more cover, you are welcome to take more than one policy. But it's also important just to check if it's allowed by that specific insurer. There is also other maximum, for example, those that are applicable for children. An example of that would be a maximum of 20,000 Rand for children under the age of 6.
A lot of people say time is of the essence, and the sooner you act, the better. So then, Elaine, how soon after taking out a funeral plan can one make a claim?
You can claim immediately. However, it will depend on the type of death or the cause of the death that will determine whether you can claim immediately or not. So, for example, for natural death, there's usually a waiting period of 6 months before which you can claim. And then for accidental death, you can claim immediately. You're covered immediately, and once your first premium is paid, you will be able to claim. There are other waiting periods involved in funeral plans, such as waiting periods for suicide, which is usually excluded for the first 12 months, for example, and then you won't be able to cover for death through suicide for the first 12 months.
Thank you both so much for sitting down with me and breaking down something that is extremely important, but not an easy conversation to have. If you don't have a funeral plan, I encourage you to take one out so that you and your loved ones can have a dignified burial with peace of mind that all your costs are covered. For more information, please do not hesitate to reach out to the team at Standard Bank online or give them a call.
Protect what matters and get a quote for a life insurance plan that suits your needs and stand a chance to win one of 8 Samsung Galaxy S21 phones plus 100 gigs of Standard Bank mobile data for a year. To enter, SMS the keyword LIFE to 31492 to get a callback and a quote. It can be. You could be a winner.
We've had them from the top of the show, our musicians, and also a little chef in the making. Yeah, you can pop that collar, my sir, because you guys have done incredibly. I mean, we have reached our favorite part of the show where we get to indulge in all the wonderful budget-friendly meals that we've made and had the privilege of having dinner with Gianna Sky and Sasha from Amor. Well, let's dig in. Well, Dumi reminds us, what did we make?
We made a decadent egg stack, vegetable and egg stack, and then we went over to our macaroni lasagna. Yeah. We didn't also stop there. We did 2 desserts. We made an ice cream that we shook up, and then we also have a delicious, decadent, tasty pudding that we topped with some granadilla. And Vali, before we go too far, I'm going to ask you to pass me some of that egg stack, please, because that's the first thing I need to try.
Let's eat.
I think I'm going to go straight into the sweet.
Yeah, what are you most looking forward to trying?
The ones I made.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh, yes. It's going to be interesting to see who actually made the best dish here, huh?
Oh, no, guys. Macaroni lasagna. I'm going to get an Italiano, you know?
A little Italiano.
You have to represent.
Have to represent the culture.
Now, which brings me to our social media question. I mean, for the both of you, I have to find out. We've given you a bit of a challenge. Today we're whipping up meals for under 200 Rand with you both. So if you had 200 Rand in your pocket, honey, for a meal for your favorite celebrity, what would you make?
I think I would go, seeing as we're by the ocean, I think I'd go with like a beautiful hake and make like a homemade mashed potatoes. Yummy. And then with some peas, like totally do that whole like vibe, you know, like that very kind of UK kind of traditional meal kind of thing. I think that would be amazing.
That sounds
Very nice. I would probably spend like most of the budget on like
He's all
the
bougie,
protein.
yeah.
I'd get a nice steak, as like a nice piece of steak I could, and then
That's like
probably
80% of your budget.
No, that's okay. Then I'll get like 2-3 carrots and a potato. Or something.
Especially 2-3 carrots.
I'm definitely not giving you my budget. I don't think you understood
It'll
the
be
budget.
good. I'm telling you.
Vanessa, I also can't think. I think it's what you said about your mac and cheese. I'd probably do something like that.
Or like
I
a
think
stir fry.
Yeah, you can add so much to it.
Absolutely. Well, we're not only looking forward to keeping things lighter on the pockets, we're also very much looking forward to your very first album, Amor Amor Volume 1. Not only are they sharing music here in South Africa, they're also sharing their food. And make sure that you share in on all of the music by going out there and getting your hands on this incredible album. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us. It's been awesome to cook with you guys and play in the studio today.
Yeah, we've shared multiple meals together, but this is the most special for me.
Yeah, this is the most delicious, guys.
And thank you so much, Dumi, for always coming
Yeah,
to the show.
Only a pleasure.
Awesome, yeah.
Now we are feeling all the amor for these budget-friendly recipes. If you've missed any of the meals from this week, then be sure to tune in for our repeats on Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Then it's all about the low-carb meals next Tuesday and Thursday from 5:30 p.m. And you certainly don't want to miss out on that. But until then, City, good night, stay safe, and happy eating, Mzansi. Good night. Nothing beats being free. For breakfast with the team, family brunches, or having the crowd around for life as it used to be. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.